Previously on Spenelli Speaks. So it sounds like I'm like way into the 3 stars this month, but 3 stars aren't bad. So
know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Hi everyone, Dani here. Welcome back to my channel. We have quite the snowy start to this weekly vlog. It is Monday and we had a little bit of a snowstorm this morning, early morning into the late morning. So lots of snow outside, so it's nice and bright coming in to the living room here. I'm so happy you're here joining me. I know Monday I skipped over Saturday and Sunday, but quite a busy weekend. So if you are new here, thanks for stopping by and checking me out, but not in that way. I know what way. And of course, for everyone else who is stopping by once more, thank you so much for joining us. We have Dwight and Kingston just hanging out with me today. So over the weekend, a little bit busy, just getting things done around the house, and then a lot of stuff done for our business, DoubleBookedCo, that Laura from Book Bubbler and I run. We had a live launch last night of some new bookmarks. So those are in our Etsy page, and my shop description is, or my shop information is always in the description. Baby Brain, I'm just gonna say it's always Baby Brain. So you can check out that. We already have sold out of some of the bee bookmarks that we had. So we had birds and bees that we introduced, and then some watercolor florals. And we're already sold out of one of the kinds of bees, but that one only had a few, they only had a few in their collection, so it makes sense. But yeah, if you're interested, make sure you jump in there quick, because yeah, they're going quick. But anywho, with the live launch, we had productivity sprints, so we were able to read a little bit, which was last night, Sunday night, and we started our book club pick of Green Glass House. And this is really great because for middle grade March, it counts as a book read. And I only got the first 2 chapters read because I was getting really distracted throughout the whole productivity sprints by various things. The dogs, my brother called, you know, those kind of things. So I only got 2 chapters in, but very interesting. I was talking to Laura afterward, and I mentioned that it kind of reminds me of how Lemony Snicket writes his characters. And I love Lemony Snicket, series Unfortunate Events, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to continue on in this book. But prior to that, I had done a lot of reading over the weekend. In my last vlog, you would have seen that I finished the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, with the last book being As Good as Dead. And that was phenomenal. I gave that 5 stars. As a whole, the whole series, the 3rd one, it just wraps everything up, and I wish I could tell you what happens, but if I tell you anything from the 3rd book, it'll give away stuff from the 1st and 2nd book. That's how amazing it is, that it just, everything is wrapped up so succinctly. It's amazing. But anywho, so then I moved on. I was trying to kind of reset my brain for middle grade March, and I picked up a book that I remember from being a kid loving this book, and it's called Sideways Stories from Wayside School. I DNF'd it. I got like 30 pages in, and none of it was, I could not remember any of it. It didn't seem like what I remembered, and it was just really awful. Like, it was not for an adult at all. And I think the perfect way to explain this is actually how Krista from Books and Jams explained it in her latest vlog, her weekend vlog from this past weekend. She said that some middle grade books are meant for kids, and some middle grade books are meant for both kids and adults. This is definitely a middle grade book that, and even, it could be even just an elementary book, but it is just made for kids. I was not having any of it. I don't know. It didn't age well, and it's not even silly. Like, I feel like it was just really dumb. Which is harsh, but I couldn't take it, and I didn't feel like just trying to read it for reading's sake. So I just DNF'd it and put it aside and more than likely will donate it back to the thrift store. I did start and finish Johnny Tremain, and I listened to this on audio. This is that book that my brother really loves. And I gotta say, I didn't love it as much as he did, which got me into a lot of hot water. Let's just say that. So I gave this book a 3, but my brother said, because of course my brother called me to ask me how I liked it, and I was honest, and he was very upset with me. And I said, well, I gave it 3 stars, and he's like, no, you didn't. You gave it 2 stars, but you gave it an extra star because you felt bad. And I was like, yeah, you're probably right. Because, I mean, it's an okay story. It's fine. It's coming of age story. It's about Johnny Tremain. He's 16 years old. He is a apprentice for a silversmith, and by a few actions, his hand gets maimed where he can no longer do the silversmithing. So he goes out and about to try to find new work, because if you don't have work at that age, you don't have, a place to sleep and food in your mouth. And he comes to find the revolution just through people who were participating, and he becomes somewhat like a spy between the British and the Americans, or what will then become the Americans. And it's a good story. It's a coming of age story. You definitely follow him and his thoughts on the war and his contributions and his perceptions of the people around him, like John Hancock and Paul Revere and some other key people that helped the revolution. But for me, which is really weird because I've never had this happen before, because of course there are so many books that have boy main characters, but for me, I just could not relate to his story at all. I just felt very dejected from his story. And I felt like it was very flatline. Like I just feel like I was just following a simple thread. And that might be a harsh review on that, but I wasn't as entertained as I thought I would be. And don't get me wrong, I love wartime stories. The Red Badge of Courage is one of my favorite books by Stephen Crane, and that follows a man in the Civil War, and it's a phenomenal read. But this one, I didn't feel anything when I was reading this one. So I did give that 3 stars, but quite frankly, my brother's probably right. I probably should just give it 2 stars because it was just okay. So yeah, I finished that one, and then I also started Westing Game, which is okay thus far. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the writing style, because the author really flips back and forth between characters like within sentences, which is hard to imagine a middle grader reading, because there's times where I lose who's speaking. So I find that really interesting that this is made for middle grade students, when there's parts where I'm like, wait, who is talking now? So, but I've heard so many good things, so I'm going to keep going through and reading. This one is about a millionaire who passes away, and a bunch of strangers are in the will. So, and I think there's a game involved. So I think it's going to be pretty good. So I am reading a lot of different things. We'll see how the week kind of expands on that. Hi everyone. So I just finished filming my February wrap up, and I have to edit and post that. I've been really getting behind on all of those things, but it is what it is. I am sweating. I've been sweating all morning. I'm so warm, but even in here, because I have all the lights on, I'm super sweating. So, oh my goodness gracious, it's so warm. But yeah, it was, I always love doing wrap-ups because I feel like it gives me another chance to like think about those books again. And it's really been fun. And I recently watched Scott over at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. Scott and Elle are some of my really good friends. And he recently did a wrap up of the books he's read thus far this year. And he even mentioned like they kind of got away from that for a while, but he as well really enjoys you know, revisiting those books and talking about them. And it's so true. You know, sometimes I think, oh, do I really need to do a wrap up because I talk about these books in my vlogs? But realistically, I like putting them all in one place and kind of talking about them all at once. So I'm really glad that I keep doing those. And sometimes I even, as I'm talking about them, I'm like, this does not deserve a 4-star, or this should get more than a 2-star. So it's always nice to go back and revisit that. So if I were to say anything to any of you out there who don't have booktube channels, obviously not everyone is a booktuber, but if you're ever wanting to like glance through your books, like if you put them in a spreadsheet or Storygraph or Goodreads, you know, definitely go through there and ask yourself, like, do I feel the same way about this book? Because sometimes when you read a book, when you come back to it like a few weeks later, you definitely feel differently about it. So I feel like that's so interesting. So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, I've decided, you know, that Nancy Drew is on my TBR for March, and it's the first in the mystery stories series, The Secret of the Old Clock. I'm gonna do a dedicated vlog for this because I'm so excited to read it, but I kind of feel like I'm gonna do a dedicated vlog. So you will not see me talk any more about this book in any of my weekly vlogs because I'm going to do a full dedicated vlog just to Nancy Drew. So just so you know, in case you're like wondering, why is Dani not talking about that? You will see it in a separate vlog. As for the rest of today, like I said, I have to edit and post my wrap up. And then I have some DoubleBookedCo orders that I have to work on. And I have to do dishes and laundry. Like, it just has to happen. I'm in the extremely swollen stage of my pregnancy, so I do have to be really careful. Like right now, just have been sitting here for 25 minutes for my read. My feet are extremely swollen, so I have to go and put them up. So it's hard to get things done because I have to take breaks. Ordinarily, I would just push through and do things, and I would just get things done until they are all done. And now I have to really like assess the situation after each task and decide whether or not it's safe to continue, which is really prohibiting. It doesn't make me feel sad or anything. Like, it's just something I have to do. It's just frustrating because there is so much that I want to get done. And for me, being a person who likes to get things done and check them off her list is just frustrating. So right now I'm looking down and like my feet are really swollen from sitting here. So I am going to go and just prop my laptop on my lap and put my feet up with an ice pack because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to get anything done later in the day. Thankfully, my husband is amazing and he constantly is saying, no, you shouldn't be doing anything. Just go and sit down, put your feet up. So it's really nice that if, you know, I didn't get the laundry done or I didn't get the dishes done or I took a nap for the whole day, he's been really supportive of that, which has been really nice. And not that I ever expected him to be like, why aren't the dishes done? But it's really nice to hear it. Even though you know that he is that person, like he would have always done that anyways, it's still nice to have the, you know, audible acknowledgement of you need to rest and you are doing great and all those kind of things. So I am very blessed to have a great husband. So anywho, yeah, I'm gonna go do those things. I'm gonna stop yakking at you, and we'll see where I pick you up later. Hi friends, it is Wednesday and I am in the baby's room and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these wall decals that I got for the room, which are extremely ginormous compared to what I thought they were going to be. I thought I was gonna put these decals on this wall, and now that I'm opening them up, I mean, there's more. I feel like this is really big. I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking they're too big, but maybe once they're up on the wall it'll be different. So I thought I would share my struggles with you. Because of course these are all curly now. And they're just like, there's like stickers, like sticker decals. So I'm hoping that they're easy to adhere. So that seemed to be helpful. I think I'm gonna roll them. See, so then I have Pooh and Piglet too. And Eeyore. Oh, but they're so big. I thought they were gonna be like half this size. Oh man. So I don't know if they're gonna fit on this wall. This is the wall that the crib will be on. So I don't want to put anything that could fall and like fall into the crib or anything. So we're not hanging like any shelving or pictures or anything on this wall. So I thought these decals would be super cute, and I got them for, I mean, look how big he is. I got these at my baby shower. So where's the picture? Okay, so it looks like, so this is what it should look like in the end. It should look like that, if you can see. So it's got a little saying, and, but like, how big is that really? So like, if we start with Eeyore over here, I suppose it'll all fit. Okay, well, I'm gonna start trying to do this, and we'll see. We'll see how I do. Really fit nicely on there. I feel like I'm kind of on an upward angle here, but I mean, once the crib is here, I think it'll be just fine. What do you guys think? I really like it. It turned out so nice. Like, that's so cute. Oh, I love it. I highly recommend this. Like, this is just like a sticker decal, and it's sticking really nicely. I was afraid maybe it would like be peeling off already, but oh, it's so nice. It does look like it's like going upward, but I mean, because there's no real like line of perspective, I mean, once the crib is in there, it'll look perfect. And the example had the words on the bottom, but I figure if the crib's here, it makes sense to put it on the top. And then this was supposed to be more like this, but I just did that, and I'm okay with that. That's so nice. I'm so excited. Hi everyone. It is Thursday, and I am up again in the baby's room. My husband brought up the dresser drawers for that large dresser that you saw in a previous vlog, and I am going to go ahead and put the things that I want in the dresser drawers so that when he brings up the dresser, then he can just slide them in. So yeah. So the last clip you saw, I was putting up the Winnie the Pooh decals, and at first glance they all stuck really well. Well, 15 minutes later, the words all started to like pop off a little bit, like not completely, they didn't like fall off, but like pieces of them would. So I would say like I have at least gone back through and like pressed them on more firmly at least 10 times. And I was really worried that overnight I would see that they would have like popped off, but they didn't, which is good. But I did come in again this morning and like press them, and I could, like, you can hear, like when you can hear like that it's like pressing, like, so I know that they're like, it's coming off a little bit. So, and it's not so bad on like the big pieces, like the actual animals, like Eeyore and Pooh and Tigger, like, but I can still tell like that they're releasing a little bit. And the little dragonfly thing, definitely every time I go in, there's pieces that have popped off. So if anyone has any suggestions on what to do to like make that stay, because the last thing I want is for something to pop off and like float down into the crib and then for my baby to choke on it. So I don't know if I need to find like an adhesive spray and like just spray on top of it or something, but I don't know if that would work. Like, would it just not pop off because it's the underside? I have no idea. So let me know if you have had experience with like wall decals and what you've done to ensure that they stay on the wall, because they're so cute. They're so cute. And then you'll see behind me, I put some, if I just lean this back, I have 2 photos there, that are Winnie the Pooh on like a, I think it's like a dictionary or something, paper. And then this thing here will go up, and that's like a, stuffed animal net that will put all the stuffed animals in. And then I have some ultrasound pictures on this wall over here, and then over here I have the diamond art that my aunt made. I'll show you in a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and sort through all this stuff, get it into bags. I'm like kind of starting my hospital bag stuff, so I'm also kind of putting that in, because if you remember, this is all the stuff that I've already washed, which is really great. So now I can put it away. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So again, here is the wall decals, and they're all pretty good right now. I haven't had to do anything with them, but I'm assuming, like, I bet you any money if I go to touch this, yeah, it's up a little bit. So yeah, and I can just tell that when I do this, I am actually pressing it in more. So I don't know. I worry that in the summer when it gets hot, that they'll just pop off, which isn't ideal. And then this is like the ultrasound pictures. So like this one, my stepdaughter painted for us for Christmas, and it's supposed to like replicate that one right there. And then these are sonogram pictures, or ultrasound pictures, I don't know. And then right here, I'll end up putting the picture that we'll get at the hospital. So that wall isn't quite done. Then on this wall, which I have to fix this paint, I don't know what I did there. But we're gonna put these shelving pieces here and put a bunch of different things. I don't have anything for that small wall. I don't know if you're like that with walls like I am, but I have to have something on every wall. Then we have this cute, if you saw my nursery vlog, or nursery, baby shower vlog, I got this at my baby shower. Super cute. So that's on the closet door. And then over here, I got these at my baby shower as well. But we have little Christopher Robin and Pooh. As soon as I saw you, I knew an adventure was going to happen. And then this one here, we didn't realize we were making memories. We just knew we were having fun. And then, like I said, this jungle thing will go up in this corner here with all the stuffed animals. Hello friends, it is Saturday morning and I am just about to sit down and edit my vlog for this week. I did not have time yesterday. I was kind of just doing things here and there around the house and getting some final reading done that I wanted to get done before the weekend. And so I did that, but this week I did happen to accomplish finishing reading 3 middle grade books. So I was really happy about that. The first one I actually listened to, and that was Inside Out and Back Again, which is by, I believe, a Vietnamese author. I'm not going to try the name, and I apologize. It'll be in the description, but this was really good. I really liked this. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's written in verse, and it's about a year in the life of a little girl whose family flees from Vietnam during the war, and comes to America, and then that, you know, assimilation and the struggles that that family saw during that time. It's her, she has a couple of brothers, and then her mother. Her father was kind of lost to the war, I guess you could say. They never really find out, but you can assume as much from that. But what I really love about this is that it feels very authentic. It feels like a true story, and in the author's note, the author describes that a lot of this was similar to her own life. So it's very autobiographical, which I really like. If you saw last year in February, I think it was, I read The Mountains Sing, which is another Vietnamese story. And I'm really enjoying hearing that side, that perspective. It's so sad, but the way in which some of these writers are writing, it's also very beautiful in the way that they have written their stories. And this one's a really good one. I think this is a great middle grade pick, especially for kids. I think she did a really great job. The voice of this young girl is just really sweet and so, like I said, authentic, and I really enjoyed that. I also listened to another middle grade book by Louise Erdrich. It's called Birchbark House. And this is a Native American story. And I love Louise Erdrich. I have a lot of her adult novels. I've never read one of her middle grade. I didn't even realize she had middle grade books. And I believe this is a start of a series. And this was really great. Again, another authentic voice. I love her writing, and seeing it in a middle grade book was really unique, and I wish that we would have read books like this when I was in school. I feel like when we were in school, we learned about like wigwams and fur traders and a lot of things that were the white man's perspective. And this really just gave an authentic voice. It was really sad when she talks about smallpox. Of course, we have loved ones that passed during that time. Not we, me, but in the book we. Without spoilers is why I'm trying to say it that way. And the girl who is the narrator is just so sweet, and it's so sad to hear her story, but also very beautiful in the sense of like all of the stories that are being told, the histories there, the traditions. She describes, moccasin creation, and I really enjoyed it. I think I may continue on to the next in the series. I can't remember what it's called, but I think one is called Porcupine. But I really love her writing, both now for adult and middle grade. And the last book that I read this week was The Westing Game. Now, I have heard about this book because of BookTube. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't remember who, but it's been kind of in the back of my mind, like that it's something I should read. It's a middle grade book. It's about a man who passes, and in his will, he gets these 16 people together and then basically says it's a game to win his $200 million. The cool thing is this happens in Wisconsin, and I did not know that, so that was kind of cool to have those references there. But all in all, I was not a fan of this book. I would probably give it a 2-star rating. I don't know if it's just me, as far as I didn't like the writing style, I didn't like the pacing. The story itself was okay. I don't think this aged well. There's a lot of references that are not really politically correct anymore. And not that that's something that would, hinder my reading of a book necessarily. But in this one, it just like popped up enough that it was too many eye rolls. I was getting vertigo. I also don't feel like this is a middle grade read, and maybe that's just me, but like I just don't see how this is something enjoyable to someone half my age, or more than half my age, Dani. But I wasn't into it. I was into it at the very end when they were doing the whole, Agatha Christie Poirot kind of reveal of everything that's going on. That was cool. What this book really reminded me of is the movie Clue. If you've ever seen Clue, like the whole movie is all these things happening and happening and happening. And then at the very end, the very last 5 minutes, you get the whole rundown of what happened and who did it and, where they did it. And that's how I felt this book was like. It was like a lot of things happening and it not making sense, and it really slowly, the writing style is so slow, and it's also really jumpy. Like you jump between characters, between sentences, and it was just too much for me. So I wasn't impressed. And I'm sorry to everyone who thinks this is just an amazing book. I just happened to be on the other side. It didn't do it for me at all. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I got finished this week. And as you saw, I am going to do a dedicated vlog for Nancy Drew. And I also decided I'm going to do a dedicated vlog for Anne of Green Gables. So those are 2 books that I was really highly anticipating reading. So I think it would be fun to do a separate reading vlog for both of those. So that's what I'm going to do. Past that, for reading this month, I do need to start Bring Up the Bodies, which is that book that I'm reading for the Wolf Hall read along. So I have to start that. And then I think I'm going to try to dive more into A People's Tragedy and Sarum this week. So I don't know if I'll get any middle grade reading done, though I should start those 2 vlogs. So maybe I'll get some reading done, but you'll probably only see a little bit of my progress with those. So, well, that's all that I have for you today. I'm glad I could get some reading in this reading vlog. But until next time, I hope you all are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. And as always, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.